I went over what I knew. I came from a place where Muslims and Hindus lived in close proximity and where Hindi was spoken. Those things were true of most of India. I recalled all those warm nights outside under the stars, which at least suggested it wouldn't be in the colder regions of the far north. I hadn't lived by the sea, although I couldn't rule out that I'd lived near it, and I hadn't lived in the mountains. My hometown was a railway station. India was riddled with train lines, but they didn't run through every single village and town. Then there was the opinion of the Indians at college that I looked like someone from the east, perhaps around West Bengal. I had my doubts. In the eastern part of the country, the region took in some of the Himalayas, which wasn't right, and part of the Ganges Delta, which looked much too lush and fertile to be my home. But as these were people who had first-hand experience of India, it seemed silly to dismiss their hunch. I also thought I could remember enough landmark features to recognize my hometown if I came across it, or to at least narrow the field. I clearly recalled the bridge over the river where we played as kids and the nearby dam wall that restricted the river's flow below it. I knew how to get from the train station to our house, and I knew the layout of the station. The other station I thought I remembered quite well was the B one, where I'd boarded the train. Although I'd been there quite a few times with my brothers, they'd never let me leave it, so I knew nothing of the town outside of the station. All I'd ever seen beyond the exit was a sort of small ring road for horse carts and cars, and a road beyond it that led into the town. But still, there were a couple of distinguishing features. I remembered the station building and that it only had a couple of tracks, over the other side of which was a big water tank on a tower. There was also a pedestrian overpass across the tracks, and just before the train pulled into the town from the direction of my home, it crossed a small gorge. I had some vague thoughts on likely regions and some ways of identifying Ganesle and the B place if I found them. Now I needed a better search method. I realized that the names of places had been a distraction, or were at least not the right place to start. Instead, I thought about the end of the journey. I knew the train lines linked the B place with Kolkata. Logic dictated, then, if I followed all the train lines out of Kolkata, I would eventually find my starting point, and from there, my hometown was itself up the line, not far away.